Hey y'all, Kate here from the Emerald Minecart. Welcome back to another review, and today I'm reviewing episode 4 of Kamen Rider Zeztz. Now, yes, I'm aware episode 7 is already out, and I said that I would catch up to Kamen Rider Zeztz, but here's the thing. I've been a bit busy this month, if you couldn't tell, especially with the big reviews that I've done, specifically with the VHS series, and then I'll make some new assets because, again, I resetted my computer, and I lost the original ones, and a bunch of other stuff that was really fun to deal with. But besides that, obviously, I'll be getting to other episodes closely soon, hopefully. But yeah, anyways, the pros, the cons, and the mids. First off, the pros. So our new monster of the week is Crow Nightmare, which is a crow-themed monster, and I just want to say I absolutely love the design of this one, especially since it has a face that resembles a not medical. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry, I had a little brain fart there. But yeah, it has a face that resembles a Plague Doctor mask, which I will always love the look of Plague Doctor masks because they're so cool. It just fits with that the spooky design. It just gives off Halloween vibes, which I absolutely love. But yeah, actually, speaking of the Crow Nightmare, while I was searching for images to use in this review, I came across this concept art for Crow Nightmare. And oh my gosh, it is amazing. Now, okay, here's the thing. Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, they're considered for children in Japan. But to be perfectly honest, if 5-year-old me saw this, I would be horrified. Because honestly, well, Crow Nightmare, for me, because I'm 20, honestly doesn't really scare me that much. But for a child, this could be definitely pretty spooky for a child. Again, I absolutely love the design of Crow Nightmare. I love how he looks. I love the Plague Doctor like face. So yeah, pretty cool. Next up is Wing Capsum. So, actually, Wing Capsum isn't the only Capsum that gets introduced in this episode, but because it's not the other Capsum introduced in this episode, it doesn't get used until episode 5. I'm not going to mention it in this review. So yeah, the Wing Capsum gives Kamen Zeztz, well, a sword. Well, what did you think it was going to get? I'm joking. Obviously, it gives him wings that can turn into this really cool cape. And I really like that. I don't think I've ever seen a character design that has, their wings, but it's also like a cape. I don't think I've seen that before. But yeah, and the little pixelated animation that plays in the capsule is this little pixelated animation of Kamen Zeztz as a bat or a dragon. I don't know. But once again, low 2D pixelated animation is pretty cute. My only problem with the look of the wing capsule is that from afar, it doesn't look different to the regular capsule that Kamen Zeztz uses to transform. The color of the wing capsule is this hot pink color, and if you looked at it from a normal distance, you could tell that, oh yeah, it's hot pink, but from a distance, it's is that hot pink or is that red? But yeah, honestly, the wing form that Kamen Zeztz gets, pretty cool, especially with the cape that the wing form gives him. It's also really freaking cool. And then finally, there is the Zeztz sensor. So in this episode, Kamen Zeztz is given 3 new pieces of gear, one of them being the Zeztz sensor, which is this little robot spider that can detect enemies. Honestly, I quite like it. The design looks cute. This is definitely something that I would have loved to have when I was 5 years old. Because here's the thing: when I was 5 years old, stuff like Spy Kids and all these spy toys for children were everywhere. When I was 5, it was very popular back then. So yeah, honestly, 5-year-old me would have loved all this stuff. But it didn't exist back then in 2010. So, or yeah, 2010. But, yeah. Anyways, cons, surprise, I don't have any because once again, this was a pretty good episode. And finally, there is the mids. So these are mostly the other 2 pieces of gear that Zeztz gets. First one is the Zeztz license. For the design, it's a bit basic, but just because I say that doesn't mean I hate it, because the Zeztz license seems to be able to be used as a recording device, which it's interesting. So, actually, wait, no, hold on. Hey, old Kate here from the Emerald Minecart. Welcome back to another review, and today I'm reviewing episode 4 of Kamen Zeztz. Yes, I'm aware episode 7 is already out. Well, look, I was getting carried away with other things and stuff. Don't worry, I trust me, I will catch up with Kamen Zeztz, okay? I'll do it, please. I'm just kind of bad with keeping up with things, especially when I'm really busy, like I have been for this month. But anyways, yeah, the pros, the cons, and the mids. First off is our new monster of the week, Crow Nightmare. Now, I just want to say the Crow Nightmare looks really freaking cool. Actually, in fact, when I was looking for pictures to use in this review, I actually came across this piece of concept art for Crow Nightmare, and I just want to say, holy crap, it looks amazing. Like, okay, to be fair, the Crow Monster itself isn't really the scariest, but obviously for a kid, which again, keep in mind, Kamen Rider is considered for children in Japan, yeah, this guy would be pretty scary. And again, I really do like how it looks like he has like one of those like plague doctor masks. And again, back to the concept art. The concept art looks freaking amazing. I really do like the design of Crow Nightmare. She's really cool. And also, something to mention is that these monsters of the week. Okay, here's the thing. Usually a monster of the week only stays in one episode. Maybe they might stay for two more episodes, or maybe they get brought back later. But yeah, the one for what's going on here seems to be like, oh, here's a monster of the week. It's going to stick around for episode 2. But yeah, it is usually most tokusatsu whenever they have a monster of the week. It's usually like, oh, here's this monster. They get defeated. They're no longer seen again, unless we want you to see them again. But, yeah. Anyways, next up is the Wing Capsum. It actually isn't the only capsum that gets introduced in this episode, but because it shows up in episode 5 and is used in that episode, I won't be bringing it up until my review of episode 5. So yeah, the wing capsule gives Kamen Zeztz this cool cape that can turn into wings, which I just want to say I really do appreciate the design of like having the wings and a cape be the same thing. I don't think I've ever seen it for another character, but basically this power-up gives Kamen Zeztz wings that can turn into this really cool cape. It's freaking awesome. Also, like its little 2D animation is like a I think like either a bat or a dragon version of Kamen Zeztz. And again, I absolutely love the 2D pixelated animations. So yeah, my only problem with the design of the capsule is that it's kind of hard to tell the difference between the main capsule that Kamen Zeztz uses to transform. Like obviously, if you look at them, like obviously, if you're just holding it in your hand, you can tell that it's like a hot pink. But from afar, you would be like, oh, is that the regular capsule or not? Then finally, there is the Zeztz sensor. So in this episode, Kamen Zeztz is given some new gear, which is the Zeztz sensor, the Zeztz license, and the Zeztz camera. The Zeztz sensor is this little spider guy that can detect enemies. And yeah, honestly, I really like its design, especially since he does use this one to detect when the monster is coming, which is really cool. So yeah, I just like how it's made into like a little spider. Now we have cons, which, surprise, I don't have any cons because this was once again another good episode. And finally, our mids. First off is the Zeztz license. Honestly, it's just a bit basic in my opinion, but just because I say that doesn't mean I hate it, because here's Zane. I was born in 2005, and when I was a small child, specifically at the age of 5, that like Spy Kids and the spy toys that are made for kids. That stuff was everywhere when I was 5. So, yeah, 5-year-old me would have absolutely loved this season, especially with all the spy stuff. But yeah, again, honestly, the spy license, it just personally for me feels a bit too basic, but that's just me. That's just what I'm saying. And then finally, there is the Zeztz camera. The Zeztz camera looks pretty cool, but again, we don't really see Kamen Zeztz use it in this episode. But again, it is pretty cool, and yeah, I quite like the look of it. I like him. I like the little. No, no. Hey, all Kate here from the Emerald Minecart. Welcome back to our review, and today I'm reviewing episode 4 of Kamen Rider Zeztz. Yes, I'm aware episode 7 is already out, and I said I would catch it up to Kamen Rider Zeztz. But look, I've been busy this month. Like, obviously, like, I've had a decent amount of videos to edit together. I still need to do my review of VHS Beyond. And, obviously, you probably heard me say this, but there were a bunch of assets that I had to redraw because I had to reset my flash drive because it was giving me problems and a bunch of fun stuff that I hopefully don't have to face again. But anyways, so yeah, obviously pros, cons, and mids. First off is the pros. So the new monster of the week we are introduced to is Crow Nightmare, which is a crow-themed monster. And I just want to say, I absolutely love the design of Crow Nightmare, especially since I really do like the look of the Plague Doctor mask. It gives off those nice, spooky vibes that I like to see. And actually, when I was looking for images to use in this review, I actually came across a piece of concept art for Crow Nightmare. And I just want to say, this concept art here looks freaking amazing. It's awesome. This is definitely something I would love to have as a poster to put on my wall. So yeah, honestly, Crow Nightmare definitely has a bit of a spooky design, especially for children, because again, Kamen Rider is considered a kids show in Japan, despite the fact that they're allowed to show a bit of blood and say the word damn. So there's that. But yeah, next up is the Wing Capsum. So in this episode, Comrade Zeztz is given 2 new capsums. But Kate, if you said 2 capsums, why are you only mentioning 1? Well, the reason... Actually, that was the wrong voice. Hey, all, Kate here from the Emerald Minecart. Welcome back to our review. Today I'm reviewing... ah, shit.